All right. Once again, welcome to our Sunday night team Zoom. I'm Steve Beck in Morris, Illinois, and it is my pleasure to introduce, to give us our signature message this evening, Mr. Harris Allen. Harris, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you very much. First, I want to say thank you, guys. I'm so proud and happy to be a part of this team. And Timmer, you're the man. Just had to give you that shout out. I am part of a growing team of entrepreneurs with the shared mission to protect and empower 2 million families and small businesses with Legal Shield's network of law firms. And world-class identity theft services. What we do matters, and we are looking for help. All right, and with that, I will now turn it over to our host, Ms. Linda Beck, for the evening.
Thank you, Harris. Great job on the signature message. That's the first time you've been on there doing that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. I'm excited to be here, and we are excited to get to tonight's Zoom. So let's first go out to Jane Lehman for a book review.
Hey, everybody. This is more of a book teaser. There's no way we can, of course, do an entire book review in 5 minutes. But tonight we have the privilege of hearing Robert Bagley, who's going to be talking about The Coaching Habit by Michael Stanier, if you'll tell us that. It's all yours, Robert.
Thank you, Jane. Yes, the book is called The Coaching Habit. Say less, ask more, and change the way you lead forever. And it's by Michael Bungay, B-U-N-G-A-Y, Stanier, S-T-A-N-I-E-R. What attracted me to this book was the say less, ask more. I learned when I was teaching adults that when I first started out, I would throw everything at them. And basically what I was doing was letting them know what I knew and not teaching them what they wanted to know. So that was the attraction for me. On opening the book, I came upon a page with just a few words, written very large. Silence is often a measure of success. And that hit me right in the gut, of course. And I think that is so often the case that we say too much. The message that I've heard over and over again through Legal Shield is say less, invite more. This book is basically 7 questions, and it starts out with the question, what's on your mind? I mean, what a great opening question for any situation. The book is directed more to managers in the corporate setting, but I was reading this for myself because there's some things I need to learn, especially about saying this. The other question that is a powerful question is, what do you want? And again, that hits me right in the gut because oftentimes I don't know what I want. And I think that's maybe true for a lot of people. So it helps you to understand habits. And, habits start when we're very young, as children, or maybe even before. In my case, I believe it's before that. And we reinforce that throughout our lives. So by the time you're 20, 30, 40, whatever, these beliefs are embedded deep within you. These habits, they form the basis for our daily lives. Each day we think the same thoughts as we thought yesterday, basically, at least 90% of the time. There's only 10% new thoughts during the day. That's an amazing statistic. And it explains why people continue to do the same thing over and over and over. The author is somewhat irreverent, I found, which again appealed to me. And he piqued my interest, something bad. He says, I was not a successful law student. I ended up being sued by one of my lecturers for defamation. It's a long story. And that's it. Talk about wanting more. There are exercises to help you build a new habit. And part of it is identifying the trigger that starts you off, because the habits are so automatic that you don't have time to think about it, basically. But there is a trigger. And if you can identify that trigger, you can then start to create an alternative way of thinking. So you recognize the trigger, and then you substitute something else. Instead of doing what you normally do, you choose to do something else. In my experience, I've found that what would happen is that it would be, okay, I've identified the trigger, and the trigger would come up and I would be doing the same things I always done. And I went, oh, yes, okay. And then it would reach the point where I would recognize the trigger, and I'd know that I was about to do the same thing, or I could do something different, but I went and did the same thing anyway. And then later on, it came to the point where I would identify the trigger and say, oh, okay, this is what I would normally do. This is what I'm going to do. So it's a process. It's a growth process. It's a very small book. It's very readable, and I highly recommend it. Back to you, back to you, Jane.
Thank you so much, Robert. So with that, we are looking for volunteers, everybody on here, and many of you may not have noticed that I have sent you a private message. If I didn't private message you, I simply didn't get through the list. But everyone on here could gladly give a book review. We would love to hear from you. Next week, we're going to be hearing from Linda Beck, who will talk about the absolute best way for a woman to make money, for women to make money, by our very own Lorna Rasmussen. So stay tuned for that, and back to you, whoever I'm going out to, Linda.
Thank you, Jane. I'm looking forward to that next week. This week, I don't know how many of you were on it, but there was a small business training with updates to our Launch by Legal Shield and the Home Business Supplement. We're going to watch a short video on the Launch by Legal Shield right now, and then after that, we're going to go over to Annette Szobar for an update on some of the changes.
Don't get stranded setting up your business all alone. With Launch by Legal Shield, you'll get direct access to thousands of lawyers who are there every step of the way so you can start your business right. Unlike other options, we don't offer quick DIY solutions that abandon you to figure out the details on your own. With Launch by Legal Shield, you will always talk to your lawyer who will assist you through your entire LLC formation process. Launch by Legal Shield includes business startup consultation with experienced lawyers, entity formation for your LLC, business name check to ensure your chosen name is legally available, and your lawyer will file all the necessary documents with the state to form your business and get your employer identification tax ID number. And we won't simply disappear once your business is formed. You'll receive 3 months of continued support with legal advice and consultation on a wide variety of business matters. Need additional help? Our registered agent services will handle all legal notices directed to your business to ensure your livelihood remains compliant with the state. Starting a business can be stressful and challenging, but you don't have to do it on your own. Nobody likes paperwork. Let us empower your business with legal support and give you confidence in knowing that your business formation is done correctly.
That was a great video. Thanks, Linda, for showing that, and Steve. Can you hear, am I appearing? Okay, great. I was really excited to hear this, being in the small business market. This is a product that really needed to have some expansion. For $149, they can get all this done, plus our new videos. And we also have a new flat sheet that is in the resource section of Ellis Engage that explains it much better. It also explains all of the consultation that goes along with the program. So people aren't just simply getting on there, getting their business formed, but they can get started by asking a lot of questions, both on a personal level and on a business level. If you see the flat sheet, it has a business and a family section as well. The home business supplement has changed a little bit as well, so you're going to want to check that out. There is no longer a cap on the employee portion. However, you want to double check, because from what I can understand, they can have employees, but employee consultation is not included. I'm still trying to kind of verify that. But there are going to be trainings, more and more trainings called Fast Start trainings for small business coming up. So you're going to want to watch the Facebook groups on that, and you know, check it out before you start talking to people about it. But it is a great program, and it can get them started off on the right track with their small business. Back to you, Linda.
Thank you. I just saw in the comments that came up, somebody was asking how many points you get for a launch. And I just did one. I believe you get the points for the legal plan and the business plan. So that would be 44 for the business, for the family plan and the business plan, the home supplement. Is that correct, everyone? And that was a great write-up. Thanks. I think Jane was putting in the comments also that there's another new testimonial video by Don Thompson about launch.
Linda, that was shown on the leadership show today, and it's a phenomenal video. And the 5 Minutes Strong by Jeff Bell was incredible today.
That's because he's a year older, you know. Okay, next up, we have our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is someone that we all know and love. He is the founder and leader of Success Partners International, the author of The Tao of Network Marketing, a $150,000 ring earner, a millionaire club member. He and his artist wife, Lynn, have moved to snowy New Hampshire, where they enjoy life with their children, grandchildren, and their dog, Moose. Mr. Drennan, the Zoom is yours.
Well, thanks so much, Linda. What a great job you're doing, you and Annette and Steve. And I just look forward to this every single week. It's an honor for me to be sharing a little bit of training. And really the theme of what I'm going to talk about is, what does success look like? And I'm going to touch on 4 things. Number 1, success is individual. So if we got 30 people on here, it's 30, success has 30 different views, because it's an individual thing. So start with that. And if you're taking notes, just put number 1, success looks like whatever it is individually for you. You have to determine that. Secondly, Tony Robbins says progress equals success. And to expand on that, progress in the direction of what you want. That's success. So think about that. Because again, if there's 30 people all wanting a little bit different things. Some of you have some focus on money, some on number of members, number of people you help, number of associates, rank advancement, benefiting other people. However you determine this is what success looks like for me, then it's progress in that direction and that direction only, which is true success for you. So then number 3, once you know what you want, then you can ask yourself, what do I need to do to get there? because knowing what you want dictates what you need to do. But again, it's going to vary from person to person. Now, conceptually, we all have similar things we have to do for achieving anything in Legal Shield, like prospecting and building a list. Those are the generic things, but break it down, because for some person, one person, maybe it's doing a live Zoom every day with a prospect one-on-one is more meaningful than what might be for somebody else, which might be to engage in a different social media platform networking event 5 days a week, so once a day. Or for someone else, it might be 10 daily connects as they're moving through their busy day. For someone else, it might be 1 power hour a day. But once you determine what you want, and then you want to determine progress in that direction, you got to determine that one main thing that's going to help you make the most progress. And again, it's not going to be 10 things. It might be 2 things, but I want to challenge you. What's that one thing? Maybe occasionally you do a power hour, and at some level you knew if you did one every day, that would be transformative. Or maybe you try and reach 1 or 2 people a day, and you know if you reach 8 to 10, that would be transformative. So what are those things? And some examples of what I put are 3 team Zooms a week, 5 social media events a week, reading 20 pages a day of a good book. That's specifically in the personal development. So whatever that is for you. And then number 4 is committing to that and tracking it. So committing, but then tracking. What tracking does is it substantiates the commitment. And tracking, you've heard me say this, people either overestimate what they're doing or they underestimate, but you don't really know unless you're tracking. So a quick review here is success is individual. Success is progress in the direction of what you want as an individual. And there are certain key things that doing them repeatedly accelerate that success, bring that success, almost even guarantee that success. So you got to define what is that primary thing, or maybe 2 things. And then finally commit to them and track them over time. And that's kind of what a 90-day run is about, is deciding for you individually, what do you want? And then in what direction, because the 90-day run for someone focused on small business would be very different from someone part-time focused on team building. And then defining what's going to get you there and committing to it and tracking it. And today I happened to go through a whole bunch of photos. I keep all my photos in a large container. And I was doing this for a specific project. I thought you all might have some fun. This is Darnell Self, Brian Crothers, and Antonio Adair back around 2002. I'm showing you these because these are examples of, staying the course and having success. This is Eric Worre in about 1997 with my friend Gary Church. This is Frank Aucoin in Toledo, Ohio in 1998, 1 month before Prepaid Legal was bought TPN. Frank Aucoin was in Toledo, Ohio doing an event for us in TPN. This is our good friend Ted Wilson in 2000. He was doing videotape for an event. Ted, I think you're on, and you probably remember carrying that video player around and doing video for us. This is Jeff Olson and Eric Worre back in the late 90s on stage for an event for the People's Network. Eric Worre wrote the foreword to my book, I'm very proud to say. Of course, my workout partner, Don Wilson, this was at an event in Michigan at a place called Crystal Mountain many, many years ago. And we tell the story how we became workout partners when we came on a phone call, when we met and got to know each other at these different events. This was 2005. So Don and I were workout partners around 2005. And then we had Jim Harkma coach. And this is he and I when we were the MVPs of the state of Michigan back in about 2003. And then finally at a big event in Michigan where we're sitting in the front row, both of us taking notes at a big event. And I know we were running that event because below me is a box from Costco, or from, not Costco, somewhere, a box of, that would have been flyers. Back then, everything was flyers. It wasn't digital. So as I came across these, I thought, you know, success is staying the course individually, deciding where you want to go and doing it. And these pictures represent that of different people in those photos. So I hope you enjoyed those. I got a lot more, but my time's up. Thanks for having me on. Let me go back to you, Linda.
Thank you, John. That was fun. It was, you had, your hair was a little darker back then, huh? Thicker. All right. A few announcements. I wasn't aware of any major items going on with corporate right now, but I do want to remind everybody, don't forget about tomorrow's Motivation Monday stretch call. It's a great way to start the day. Get on there, join in the conversation, share what you want to share. And that's at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain, and 5 o'clock Pacific, I think. I hope I got that right. And then also, as Jane indicated, talked about the leadership show. If you weren't on there tonight, get on there. I think there's a recording tomorrow at 10, or you can look on Alice Engage at some point and pick it up there. And next, we're going to go over for our motivational moment to Phyllis Martins.
Good evening. We talked a little bit about habits and about success. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like success is out of my reach. We might get down on ourselves, withdraw our efforts and just stop working towards it and stop trying to hit that success goal. When that happens, we need to remember that an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. When life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means it's going to launch you into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. You will hit your success target. Steve, back to you.
Thank you, Phyllis. You always do such a great job with the motivational moments, one of the highlights of our call. So let me stop the recording.